G'day Jaffa Adventures, Terry King here. Welcome to the channel. And welcome to another video that'll end up in my 200 series Land Cruiser maintenance playlist. What are we going to be doing today? I got a handful of cheap, shitty trim tools that I purchased off eBay for like 20 bucks. And I'm going to be installing a set of Focal 6x9 front speakers in the Land Cruiser. So from a reference perspective, this video can be used for two things. One, to swap the speakers out, but two, and probably more relevant to more people anyway, is how to remove the front door cards off your 200 series Land Cruiser. And I've got a VX model, so it's got a lot of the electronic gizmos in that door card itself. Now, why am I swapping out these speakers? Well, no doubt you'll realize that the Toyota speakers are pretty bloody ordinary. But to be honest, you know, they've been okay. This is more, I guess, an opportunistic purchase. It's like the stand with the chocolate bars at the cash register. It was just sitting there and I thought, oh, what the hell, why not? If you saw my prior Land Cruiser 200 video on the alternator, the brushless alternator install, you'll know that I bought these speakers at the same time. So I can't tell you what I actually paid for them because I paid 2,200 bucks for the alternator and the speakers. But I think these things retail for around about 300 bucks or so. They're pretty easy to find. I bought these from VOP, but if you just jump onto your Google machine and you type in Focal, you should be able to find a hit somewhere. Why did I get Focals as opposed to anything else? I have heard a lot of really good things about the quality of these speakers. Nothing firsthand, it's all hearsay, but there's a pretty loud chorus of voices, so there's that. And the other thing I like about them is apparently they're completely plug and play. We'll find out whether that's actually the case or not very shortly, but that's what they tell me. So that little bag of goodies must be the pluggy bit, and these little puppies must be the play bit. Pretty decent sized magnet on the back of these. Let me just pull off this packing tape. And these tweeters here in the center are directional, so you can spin them and rotate them, and it changes the angle of that tweeter. So I'll need to remember that when I go for the install. Well, you want to see how to pull the door card off your front doors in your 200 series Land Cruiser? Stick around. Now, I captured a little sound bite on them before, and I'll do it on an after, but to be honest, I doubt you'll be able to tell too much of a difference. Going through a shitty little GoPro speaker and then coming out on a device, on your device, on whatever device you're listening to, I just don't think it's going to play out all that well, but anyway, I've done it. First panel I've got to attack is this little corner panel here in the quarter glass. That just pops out. It's got one traditional clip there, and it's got one, who knows, fancy Toyota clip, and they go into those two holes. Number one. Number two is this trim panel in behind the door handle. Again, just use your trim tool to get in there and lever it out. And it's just got two clips on the forward and one on the top and one on the bottom. That's number two. Number three is this hockey strip shaped booger. Again, just get your trim tool in wherever you can pop it in and start prying the clips out. It always makes all sorts of creaks and groans that sort of get your hair standing on end, but just keep at it and you'll eventually pop them all free. This one here kind of tucks up underneath the switch panel. I did pull that switch module off just so I could get back at those clips a little bit easier. There we go. And the reason that you take off this hockey stick one so that you can access that bolt back here. So now we got three screws or three bolts. One here, and one here. All three of them are Phillips head screws that look something like that. And all three of these screws are exactly the same size, so you can't screw them up when you put them back in. That's it. That's all that's holding this door card in terms of bolts. Now we got to go around with the trim tool, take the clips off the perimeter of this door card, and this door card will pop out and lift off. Don't be afraid to use a little bit of grunt on this as well, because those clips are holding it in pretty tightly. Once you get the first ones, though, they start to fall like dominoes. Now you can see the door handle is actually cables. The old cars used to have a rod, but these have got cables. So to undo these, you unclip them out of there, and you take this little ball out of that socket. I'm not actually going to do that because I don't actually need to pull this entire door card off. So I got an Oki strap here. Just hook that onto the door card and move it off the road. And that'll be all that I need to do for that. Now here's our target. Oh, we got a clip here. Disconnect that, move it out of the road. And there's 4 machine screws holding the speaker in. That's it. Our speaker is out. Have a look at that magnet. That's the size of a 50-cent piece. What a joke. Here's a comparison between the factory speaker and the focal speaker. What a difference. That's like a chintzy toy, and this thing is built like a brick shit house. So there's our focals, call it 1.2 kilos, and there's our Toyota speaker, 317 grams. So if weight equals quality, I guess the focals are 4 times better than these Toyota speakers. Massive, massive difference. Let's see whether that translates into sound quality. I would certainly expect so. Okay, there's our focal speaker. There's the plug on the speaker. There's the plug there. So it's just a matter of hooking those two up. And let's see whether these bolt holes line up. So the answer to the question of are they plug and play? No, they're not. They are plug, because that plug plugs in there no problem whatsoever. However, your 4 holes don't line up. I can get 2 of the 4 to line up, but the other 2, I'm actually gonna have to drill into that plastic. No big deal, but it has to be done. That little sucker just does not fit in there whatsoever. So focal, you and your plug and play? No. Plug yes, play no. So that hole there worked. That hole there worked. This hole here, I had to drill out. Those are the 2 focal holes. And on this one, I had to drill that hole out. These are the 2 focal holes. And that's it. Plug them in, and we can put our door card back together. I will test this speaker, however, first, because I don't want to put that whole door card back together and find out that this thing isn't working for whatever reason. I've also angled my tweeter in an up direction. Okay, I'm ready to put this door card back on, and here's a trap for young players. There's a clip here that's come out of the door card, stuck into the door. There's another one here. There's another one here. Now, I could bang on that door card all day long trying to get it to seat properly, and it never would because these little clips are still stuck in there. So I got to dig these suckers out of the door, and then I've got to transfer them over to the door card. For example, there's a spot for one right there. Okay, now it's just a matter of going around and knocking each of those trim clips in. I'm wiping up all the sweat off my door card. Far out. It's 6 o'clock in the evening and it's still 34 degrees out. She toasty. Pop our 3 Phillips head screws back in. That's good. All nice and tight around all the edges. Yep, very good. Hockey stick. 1, 2, 3, 4. Our switch panel. 1, 2, 3. This little puppy behind the door handle. Once I got him. And lastly, this little guy. Done. That's how easy it is to pull the door cards off your 200 series Land Cruiser. Now I'll go and rinse and repeat on the other side, put the other speaker in, and we'll call it a day. Well, I decided to call it quits yesterday afternoon, came back out this morning, and finished off the install. I'll jump into my editing software now, and I'll play a clip with the Toyota speaker versus a clip with the focal speaker. It is, however, commercially available music, so YouTube could very well block it. So if you don't see it, that's the reason. But trust me when I say the audio quality between the Toyota speakers and those focal speakers are unbelievably different. I walked into this purchase with a little bit of an impulse buy. I'm walking out of it absolutely wrapped with the purchase. I don't know why I didn't do it any sooner. Anyway, let's jump over to that audio quality comparison, and if you don't hear it, I got blocked. Thanks for watching, everybody. Keep the shiny side up. Bye now. Bye, Felicia.